So sometimes you want to digitize an old map, or maybe an image, like somebody takes an air photo and it's really current, and you want to be able to digitize that and update information, but you need to put that image in a geographic location. So you have to make sure that the image or whatever has coordinates so that, you know, it's at the right place on the earth. Because I could open up this this picture of Lake Abert and I could trace it right here on my screen with the draw tool, but that tracing is not anywhere in space. So the first thing that you have to do is get something that you know is correct, right? And so one thing that I can do with a CAD drawing, so I'm going to open up, I'm going to add the aerial photo base map on this. You know what, I'm going to start with the image. There was what am I trying to think of? A patch we had to add last year, and I don't know if they updated and kept that patch, and so this could blow up completely. So I'm going to zoom in to Eastern Oregon, maybe. Okay, so I'm looking for Lake Abert. Am I close? I don't know. Well, I could just, all right, let's use Google Earth and find out what the coordinates for Lake Abert are. There's a lat-long search function. So if I get, like, so when I do this and I get those coordinates for Lake Abert, however, I want them in decimal degrees, and rather than change that, I'm just going to go ahead and do it that way. Okay, so now there's my lat and my long. So in ArcGIS, I can use this, and there's a, my copy is not working well. 4266, that should get me close enough. And negative 120.23. Okay, so I can add a label. I can fly to that. So I'm just going to zoom to it. And there it is. Okay, so that gives me Lake Abert there. And when I look at Lake Abert on this Esri image today, it looks really good. And when I looked at it the other day, it was not that great. But Esri has imagery that scales to different years as I zoom in. So their low resolution, medium resolution are actually different images. And so I don't know, also they don't tell me what year I've got for this image. So I went on Google Earth and I got an image that is static. So as I zoom in, this isn't going to change. So in order to get this image into the correct position on ArcGIS, I have to have some points that I can identify and tie them to. And there aren't any really good roads on this. So in Google Earth, what I did was to put some push pins in with latitude and longitude that I knew. And then in ArcGIS, I used this and created 4 points that match those pins. And so then when I brought my image in, I could tie those push pins in Google Earth to the points I make on ArcGIS. So, for example, let's get, let's get those points. So my first push pin was, oh man, you're going to have to convert those. That's hysterical. Okay, so my first push pin in ArcGIS, I wonder if it will let me, oh, I can do degrees, minutes, and seconds. I didn't realize that. Okay, so here is my first point. So I'm going to put it in there, and there is my next point. And I'm going to put it here. And then I'm going to add a labeled point. And let's see if that actually, there it is. So that point is now there. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this one and put that there, and take that one and put that there, and add another labeled point. There it is. And then I'm going to take my other two pins. Again, and add a point. And then this one. And add a point. So I have got 4 points, control points, that should match those 4 points on my image, which is right here. So I've got those 4 points should match my 4 points in ArcGIS. So then I'm going to turn on the georeference tool. So there's my georeferencing, and then I'm going to add that image. And I put this on the desktop. Remember, you want to just, when you point to a TIFF, you don't double click because then it separates the image bands. I just want the whole image. And now I'm going to get the message that, hey, wait a minute, this has no spatial reference. But we know that, right? That's what we're fixing. So if I were to zoom to this, it's putting it somewhere, I don't know where. It's in the ocean somewhere. So if I go there, I have no idea where that is. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my Lake Abert location. Now, you can see that the image I just put in here shows up here, georeference image. So what I can do now is say fit to display, and that will add the image here. So you can see my control points are pretty much off, right? So now I'm going to tie the wrong point to the right point in these 4 little corners here. So I'm going to turn off the auto adjust because it tends to skew things up. And then I'm going to do my control points, and you should probably zoom in pretty far if you really want to get it accurate. So the tip of this point needs to go to that point there. And then the tip of that point needs to go here. Oh, that's pretty cool. And the tip of that point needs to go there. And the tip of that point goes there. And then once I do that, then I'm just going to click auto adjust. And so now, zoom to layer. So now that image is over that space, okay? If I look at my link table, where is my link table down here? Oh, it gives me my residuals, which are weird. But It's working. Okay. Now, this has been put into the right location, but it is not a permanent, there's no projection associated with this image. Okay? So, in order to get an image that has that projection, so I could hand that over to Paul and he doesn't have to go through that again, you're going to export that file. And you're going to choose the spatial reference of the data frame because the data frame is referenced to whatever my first base map was. And so then I'm going to go ahead and put this on the desktop, and I'm going to call it Abert Mercator. Really? You don't like that? Oh, it's looking for the workspace. This is one of those weird things. So I'm going to say the workspace, and now I'm going to name it here. Abert Mercator. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now this one I can remove, and I can remove that. And if I add the Abert Mercator, I shouldn't get that error message again, and it should pop up right where I wanted it. So now I can zoom in and out to my heart's content and digitize here, where with the world imagery, if I zoom in too much, even though this one is much clearer today, it doesn't stay. It's just totally annoying with this. So all I want you to do is to take that Abert image, georeference it, and upload the reference TIFF. And then I'll just pull them in and just check your georeferencing. This is something that they do with historic maps all the time. And so what you might on a historic map be able to find 4 crossroads on an old map that match a new aerial image, and not have to put in the lat longs, but put in your control point from this spot to that spot. So let's try that with Lake Abert without the control points. So let's just put this guy in here. Yeah, we know. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. Can I zoom? There we go. So if I didn't want, let's go into here. So here's that, and now I'm going to go fit to display. Well, that came in pretty close, right? But is there anything, I can see this road over here. So I have a road there, but there isn't a crossroad. Crossroads are awesome. Ooh, what about that corner? That might be a good corner. Now let's see if I can find that on the image as well. Ooh, there's a crossroad right there. But can I find it on ArcGIS? Did I? Was I there? Is it right? Oh. Okay, so right there. Okay, so the way I would do this would be to reference it from where it is. I'm going to turn off the auto adjust again. So I would take it from there and then move it to there. Ooh, what about that corner? Yeah, see that little dip here? So I could go from there to there. Oh, what about that road right there? Let's see if that exists on my, yeah. Oh, this would have been way easier for you to do than the stupid control points. There we go. So that might do it. You might want, so let's just see what happens when I auto adjust that. Okay, so, Yeah, it skewed it. I needed 4. I only had 3, so I should have put in another one. But that's the way you would do that. Okay. The other thing that you can do, and this may blow up the computer, is to I'm going to add a CAD image. Okay. So here's a DWG file, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom to that polygon. So this is the administrative building at Lane. So what I can do now, I'm going to go ahead and turn all those off, except the polygon. Polylines. Okay, and then I'm going to go here, and now I'm going to go into Lane. Okay, where are we? We're right here. Okay, I'm close. I'm close. Up, north. Oh, there we are. Duh. Okay. So I think it's this building right here. So I would do georeferencing. I can fit to display, and I can do the same thing here. I can take that corner and add it there, and that corner and add it there. Actually, I don't think that's right. I think it flips around. But you would go through that same process of taking the misplaced corner and add it to one that you know where the correct corner is, and then you would just use your auto adjust there. Yes. The other thing is you have a tool that will let you do some of the original. Let's get it kind of in place to start, and I can use the shift so I can bring it up here. And you can do that with the image too. You could shrink the image a little bit before you start messing around with your control points. So you can get it kind of an approximation, line it up, and then add your control points and go with that. Again, once I get that, then I have to export that file, and it's going to export it as a shape file. And did I set the, I bet I didn't. No, I don't want the source because the source has no coordinate system. I want to set it as the one for the data frame. Okay, so, and now when that comes in, that's georeference supposedly.